Welcome into Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast. We are your tippers. I'm Mac, this fat bitch. We got Matt Regan, Ryan Haynes, and our producer Kyle behind the screen. How you guys doing? Ryan, what's been up, man?
Hey, not much, man. Good to be back. I don't know. I've been on vacation this week. Went and saw my first movie at an actual movie theater for the first time since January of 2019 or something. So yeah, it's been a good week overall.
What movie?
Stillwater with Matt Damon.
Yeah, was it good?
Pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. It was long. It was like 2.5 hours, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, Matt Damon's in some pretty hot water right now.
Yeah. I would.
We won't get into that. Regan, how was your weekend, man? How you doing?
Great until you threw me off and picked Ryan first.
Uh,
That's the first time in 19 episodes you picked Ryan. I was like,
I've had to done it at least once before.
all right, I'll give you one. Still messing with my head.
I know.
Other than that, I'm good. I'm just disgruntled.
Disgruntled. Oh, well, that's not good. Hopefully we can pick you up here. But yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
I thought that's why he was going to you last.
I know,
You usually ask him how he's doing, and I never ask him how he's doing. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm the thoughtful one. Yeah, cannibal.
Have you guys ever done this? You put freeze pop in your drink upside down, like those little Coronitas and like a margarita thing? No?
Like
No,
rice?
because I'm not a college girl.
I put ice in my.
Neither am I.
Yeah, Reeks has a man drink. I don't know what you're drinking, Mac.
It is strawberry watermelon lemonade
Oh
with
my God.
ice pop in it.
Holy sugar overload.
No, it's Crystal Light. It's fine. I'm on a diet.
That popsicle's not Crystal Light.
It's fine. All right. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. If you are watching us on YouTube at Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast, we appreciate it. If you could subscribe, like the video, comment, give us some feedback, interact with us. We'd love it. If you want to interact with us some more, you can follow our socials, Twitter and Instagram at Just a Tip FFP, or you can find us on Facebook. The name of the podcast, Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. If you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon, you can download our episodes and subscribe and follow them as well. And always share our tips with your friends and family. We'd really appreciate it. You guys supporting us, really helping us out here. And you make it fun, man, having an audience and interacting with you guys. It's been, and girls, been a lot of fun.
Good save.
We are in episode 19 right now. August 4th, 2021. 36 days away from kickoff. About 5 weeks, man. It's getting crunch time here. Your drafts are coming up. So we are going to get into QB rankings tonight. Different style than what you're probably used to if you listen to other podcasts. So Ryan came up with the idea. Nobody's ever done it before. Never happened. So stay tuned for that. But before we get into that, let's get into Haynes' briefs here.
And I got news for you.
Ryan, what do we got?
Wow, that was the shortest segue into a Haynes brief ever. I was waiting for more.
I'm trying to go rapid fire tonight, man.
Oh, fair enough. All right, here we go. Well, the biggest piece of news over the last week. So Carson Wentz goes down with a foot injury. Going to be out 5 to 12 weeks. I did see a report today from NFL Media's Tom Pelissero saying that he still could be ready for week 1. So they haven't counted him out for week 1 as of yet. So right now, the Colts quarterback room is looking like in-house is Jacob Eason and Brett Hundley. And then some other names that have been thrown around, Gardner Minshew, Nick Foles, Blake Bortles. So, guys, in the event that he's out for longer, more towards the 12 weeks than the 5, who do you think temporarily takes the reins?
Philip
Matt,
Rivers.
go ahead.
Yeah, Regan said it. Philip Rivers said he's open to coming back. So who knows? He said he's out of shape though, and he's been coaching his kids' high school team. One of the 9 kids he has, I guess. So who would do that? Who would have that many kids? That's crazy.
I don't know.
Weirdos.
Philip Rivers, huh? I didn't hear that. Man, I'm
You
like the
didn't hear
news guy, and I'm missing out on all the news.
You missed
I guess.
that. It just came out this afternoon. They were talking about it. So
We'll feed you, baby bird.
he killed it. What are you talking about?
I
He
was-
doesn't have to feed it.
I was
That sounds
thinking
good.
Andrew Luck. Maybe here's a name that popped in my head today. Vinny Testaverde. He's the guy to still be playing quarterback somewhere, right?
Jeez.
Guy was like 60 when he retired, so
Yeah.
Saying there's a chance.
I posted it on Twitter, just a tip, FFP, asking some guys that we know about Gardner Minshew, and I would love that if they traded for Gardner Minshew there. The guy, he plays well and with a great offensive line, but you're getting into it with Quentin Nelson, maybe not so great anymore. Might be tough, but I would take the chance on that, or you tank. And you just roll with your backups, and Eason's a statue. Like everybody says, like he doesn't move well in the pocket at all. So I don't think you want that. And your team is pretty well, especially on defense. So I would trade for Gardner Minshew.
I mean, realistically, I think Carson Wentz is probably out for 3 or 4 weeks. So you gotta win like 2 games in that time. I think Minshew is a good candidate for that. I think Philip Rivers is a good candidate for that. So we'll see, but there is still some optimism around Carson Wentz coming back week 1. I did make note, Quentin Nelson, like you just referenced, Mac, he's going to be out 5 to 12 weeks with the same injury as Carson Wentz. I have no idea like how these guys got the same exact injury within like 6 days of each other, but must be something with the turf there or the cleats. I don't know.
Well, rumor has it they were wrestling.
Oh,
And that's how it happened.
I knew it. Little footsies. It was too intense.
At
Way too
lunchtime.
intense.
Hey,
I wouldn't think I quit Nelson with that.
I'm looking at the Colts schedule, guys, and I'm pretty sure he came up with this injury on purpose because they have the Seahawks, the Rams, the Titans, the Dolphins, Ravens.
Oh,
Dolphins
yeah,
are
that
scary,
makes sense.
Ouch.
Who's week 6?
Bye week.
Texans.
Oh, that's when he's coming back.
How unusual.
There it is. All right, moving on here. So another little bit of news. Wide receiver Kenny Golladay left Giants practice yesterday with an undisclosed injury. He was seen grabbing the back of his leg, and the team is optimistic that the injury is minor. He will return soon. So is there any room for serious concern here, guys? We thinking like nagging, lingering, hamstring issue?
You have to be worried about injuries like this for a wide receiver. They always tend to be lingering. The fact that it's happening this early, maybe they play it smart. If you don't see him for a couple weeks, I'd feel a little bit better just so he could rest. But if he comes back too early, this could be a problem.
No, that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it didn't look good, man. It just a little bit of a jump going for the ball, and then he grabbed it immediately. I wasn't really targeting him anyway. Didn't have the most faith in the Giants' offense altogether. So I feel bad. Like I like seeing him play. So hopefully he can get back on the field and be all right. But yeah, take caution. I wouldn't go out and try to reach for him. But say he's there, 5th round? Would you take a chance on him? Knowing what we know now.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because that's kind of where he's going in general, like a little bit earlier than that. I'm hoping because of this news he does fall, and then I'd feel better taking a flyer on him.
Yeah, if he falls to like 7th or 8th, I might feel okay. Right now, before the injury, he was around like T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, and I think I would rather have either of those guys over Kenny Golladay. Just a little bit more certainty at the quarterback position. But yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out. All right, one more piece of news, and I guess the other one we could save for later on. But the Bengals offense is struggling at camp right now, per reports. So from 1 to 10, rating 1 to 10, where's the panic level right now at Cincy?
Not high for me, man. I have not had high expectations for the Bengals. I they're the Bengals, man. They're the bottom of the totem pole in that division. They're not ready. They'll be up and coming, but still that offensive line is not great. Okay, they're pretty bad last year and the year before, and they're better this year supposedly on paper, but I mean, how much better? 50% better? Okay, I'm not sure. Like if they're jumping from ranked 32nd last year to in the 20s, okay, still not great. So yeah, I'm not panicking. Regan, what are your thoughts?
I think I might be in the same boat as you, and I kind of didn't have as much faith as a lot of people. That being said, that you got to be happy about what they have there and how much talent they have at wide receiver. This team does pan out. That is a lot of fantasy points. Those wide receivers are somewhat going early in these drafts, so I guess it is kind of time to panic, if you ask me. I think there's too much riding. Joe Mixon's second round. You got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Jamar Chase is going early. He's a rookie. That's a scary pick in the first place. Never mind, Joe Burrow's coming back from injury. We'll get into this in our bracket a little later on, but I definitely think it's
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, Burrow coming back from injury, I think he's going to need some time. So I'm not over panicking either. And at the same time, like with increased expectation comes a little bit more increased pressure. So maybe they're feeling a little bit of that right now. And I think Zach Taylor's a good coach. I think he'll help those guys to settle in, and we'll kind of see what happens. I think we'll be able to tell more like week 3 of preseason how these guys are clicking. So. Again, like all training camp news, you just got to kind of stay tuned and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you really only have to be worried about injury. That's the only thing. Like Tyreek Hill, we didn't get into that, but tendonitis in the knee, Andy Reid is saying. But he was lifting and stuff, testing it out. Like, okay, monitor that. But when they're sitting out days of practice, that's when you got to start worrying. They're still trying to click as an offense. We'll see in the preseason games, which we have that benefit, which we didn't have last year.
Very true.
So it's going to be good. Preseason games matter, man. I tried telling people that last year, and it showed because the defense let up a lot of points in the beginning of the season last year. So
yeah, I mean, look at the Cowboys 5 weeks into the season where they averaging 38 points a game or something. So
outrageous.
Good for fantasy, I guess.
All
right, boys.
Anything else?
No, that's
Holy
it.
Shit, there's a lot of news. It's true, the market is becoming saturated.
That might be my favorite drop that we have.
I think so.
I love it.
I think so.
I was a little premature there.
I was gonna make a Briefs joke, so you saved me that, so we can move on.
You better use it next time.
All right, you got it.
All right. So let's get into our rankings here, our QB rankings.
Here on ESPN 8, The Ocho, bringing you the finest in seldom seen sports from around the globe since 1999. If it's almost a sport, we've got it here.
All right.
You're supposed to find a different plug or something. Didn't you say that 4 weeks ago?
I was trying to, but I don't know. Old habit.
If it ain't
All
broke,
right.
don't fix it.
I love how he fixes it. He doesn't fix that, but your brief just keeps getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah, I know, right? He's just like trying to pass it along faster. He's like, I get out of here.
I got the Ocho coming up. I got to make some room.
It's true. Save me in editing. All right. So as Regan alluded to earlier about a bracket style on our rankings, we had a guest, a fan, a friend of ours from high school, Jared Gregory here. He did a pretty good job. I don't want to pump his tires too high, inflate them too much, but I like what he did with his breakdowns of our top 16 minus Patrick Mahomes. But Ryan, you want to explain our ranking style that we're doing here?
Yeah, sure. So each week, guys, we're gonna do a tournament style for each individual position. It's gonna be a different group of 16 individual players. So if we feel like we're pretty consensus, or other sites are the consensus is pretty much the same on certain players, we might leave them out of the bracket and then discuss them in different episodes. But for right now, we're gonna focus on 16 players. Uh, 4 rounds, including the finals. And every week we're going to have a listener or a friend or a fellow podcaster complete a bracket, have 1 to 2 points to defend their picks, and then your tippers may or may not be too gentle with their critique. So we'll have to see. But we will share where we have these guys individually ranked, why, and who we would choose over them. And the purpose of this is, draft day, you're going to have to make some tough decisions. You're going to be looking at some of these matchups in a different way on draft day and trying to figure out who you want to choose and why. And we're going to try to help you make those picks. So afterwards, we're going to make our full rankings available on our socials, and keep an eye out for our website, which is under construction right now. And we're hoping that we can get those rankings out to you on the website by the start of your draft. And with that, I think we can begin. So, Mac, you want to get into it?
Sure, man. So round one. I should add a Mortal Kombat.
I was just gonna say it.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll have to do that next time. Round one, we got Josh Allen versus Ben Roethlisberger. All right, two big meaty boys here. So let's see. Jared has Allen as the winner here. All right, for obvious reasons, he says QB1, most fantasy points last year for quarterback, most formats. Can add him up in every way: passing yards, rushing yards. He can do it all: passing and rushing touchdowns. On the goal line, that's their run play. It's him rushing the ball. So he's a dangerous quarterback, man. He has two very important components to that happening. So it's closer than you think on him making it to one over Mahomes. But we can get into that later. So Pittsburgh, he says, must try to establish a run to allow for more play-action passes. Roethlisberger was 32nd in play-action passes attempts and 40th in play-action passing yards. All right. More play action will allow Johnson, Claypool, and Smith-Schuster to create separation, which will lead to more big plays. And it's like, yes, Roethlisberger passing attempts may go down, but with the talent receiving core, Ryan, why are you shaking your head?
You're reading my stuff.
I am reading your stuff.
I was like, this is a lot short. Jared kind of summed it up pretty quick.
This makes a lot of sense here. I like where Jared was going with this. It sounds pretty familiar.
I'm just glad Ryan noticed, because if he didn't notice, that would have been bad news.
You know what?
Well, thanks for making my point, Max.
Should have just left it. This is your point, so why don't you continue on where I left off?
Closer than you think. Closer than you think. I think Big Ben could have a resurgence, but I think it's dependent on how this offense is utilized. If they can get the run going and they can utilize play action more, that could leave a lot of space for these very talented receivers in Claypool, Johnson, and Smith-Schuster. Because last year they did not have room to make any kind of plays because there were 7 in the box, and every time Roethlisberger got the ball, he was throwing it under 2 seconds. So he had the lowest completion yardage per completion of any quarterback last year, and if they can establish some play action, that could change significantly. Go.
You should have interrupted me and not leave me out here embarrassing myself like this. Jason, Chris. I am sorry, guys. I have a bunch of documents open and I got them mixed up. So what Jared was saying was, if this were a UFC fight, I'd have a hard time picking the winner, but it's fantasy football, so Josh Allen is the runaway winner in the matchup. Big Ben put up decent stats in 2020. Yeah, this makes more sense. He gets right to the point, not rambling on like what I was reading for you. But they added running back in the first round for a reason with Najee Harris, so he won't touch the 600-plus pass attempts in 2021. And he also has no ability to run, knocking his value way down. Regan, your thoughts on Roethlisberger? And the obvious win for Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, of course. So really, my notes on Ben Roethlisberger is, obviously he's 39 years old. That's quite old. He's coming off an injury. Last year, he said his elbow hurt, was not feeling, or whatever, his arm, shoulder, elbow. But either way, he's saying it finally feels better. So I guess that's my only concept. I think he's no more than a QB2 and a possible 2 QB league or something like that with some upside. But he's always thrown, I think he's thrown 28 touchdowns the past 5-6 years, and other than last year, I think it was. But he is very consistent. If his elbow is back or the injury is back to normal, he should be okay as a QB2. But that's it.
Where do you guys have him ranked, real quick?
Ranked? We
Yeah.
got
We'll have
Big
to-
Ben.
I have him
Ooh.
17th right now.
17th. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have him 15th. I think we were all kind of around the same.
I'm at 22.
Oh,
We'll
dang.
get into that next episode.
All
right.
right.
All right. So, Regan, who do we have next on the dock? Make sure you have the right one.
It's Ryan's turn.
Oh, okay. Ryan, excuse me. See, I'm take me out, coach. I'm fumbling the ball all
this
over
is a new
here.
segment, man. New segment. You got to work through the kinks. But all right, so we got Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts, and this is going to be
who do we
our
got?
8.
But my lips hurt real bad.
Napoleon
Oh,
Dynamite.
and who was the first guy?
Justin Herbert.
You like popsicles?
Oh, that makes sense.
I had an Easter egg with the popsicle in my drink for that. Anyway, continue.
Oh,
Herbert
that's
from
good.
Family Guy.
All of that is what. All right, cool, man.
Long con. See, this is why I mess it up because I'm doing too much of this extra flair for your entertainment. You're welcome.
So I think this is a really good matchup. First of all, and I think this is another one that will definitely be closer than a lot of people think. But Justin Herbert, Jared has as the winner. Jared references that Hurts has a higher upside as a rusher, but too many question marks around him, and there's not enough tape yet to justify taking him over Herbert. He mentions that Herbert lost Hunter Henry, but he replaced him with Jared Cook, which is not a significant downgrade at tight end. He has some rushing upside. As well, he said that he rushed for 5 touchdowns, tied for 7th among QBs, and 234 yards last year. And I think Jared makes a lot of sense here. I have Herbert going as well. And my biggest thing with Jalen Hurts is going to be turnovers. I mean, the guy started in 4 or 5 games last year, had 4 interceptions, 9 fumbles. He lost two of those fumbles in 2020, so he really lucked out there. I do think he has more value as far as running the football, but I also think that he's certainly going to have, I think that he's going to be susceptible to more bust games where you see kind of what you saw in the last game of last year where he had 72 yards passing, 34 yards rushing, and got pulled in the 4th quarter. What are you thinking, Mac?
They were tanking that last game, so I don't put too much stock in that. That's why the coach got fired and everything, so it was a whole mess. Yeah, so I have Jalen Hurts ranked 11, and that's higher than Herbert. Herbert I have at, what do I have him at? 16. So Herbert, I thought with the weapons they were trying to build around him, the owner was saying we got to make him successful. Then there's rumors of Deshaun Watson being traded to him, so it could be a whole nother mess there. So he should move down my rankings a bit more, but they did improve the O-line, and it's trending in the right way. He had the highest rushing average of rookie QBs at 68 yards per game. So with that upside, I think I would take a chance over Jalen Hurts and expecting a sophomore slump from Justin Herbert. Huge running upside, and he launches the ball downfield, man. So hopefully Rager and Devontae Smith can get healthy and get out there. But Regan, what are your thoughts on it?
Pretty much the same stats. I think eventually it's going to get repetitive, but we all know he runs. He did start 4 games, Ryan, and it was 63 attempts, 54 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not bad. You see, it's mostly a run game, and we see that Lamar Jackson, some of these running quarterbacks can really make a good name for themselves with that. His passing percentage was only 52% or something like that, which was so low. He's just erratic. So if he can figure that out and then keep the run game, What? Erratic?
Erratic.
I'm
Sporadic.
sorry.
I
My
said
mind's
erratic.
in the gutter. My mind's in the gutter. Okay.
It seems like we all are on this podcast. It's all right, though. We're moving in the right direction. But anyways, yeah. Jalen Hurts, I do have him high. I think I have him at like 8. And that's only if he can, do something with that, with the throwing motion, with Jalen. What's his name? Not Jamar Chase. Who the?
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith getting hurt. It gets me very nervous. So
yes,
he will be dropping in my rankings.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I want to make one more note here. Sleeper has him ranked 88th right now, and Herbert is ranked 47th. So I personally, even though I just made those points about Hurts and the concerns, I would rather take Hurts over Herbert based on where he's getting picked right now.
Definitely. Couldn't agree more.
I should make another note that I don't know if you mentioned at the top, the ranking, the point scoring, 6 point per passing touchdown as well in these rankings. So I don't know if you mentioned that. Sorry. If you did, just want to remind people, some might be thinking it's 4 point per passing touchdown, but we are doing 6 right now.
Matt, do you have Herbert at 16?
Yeah, I do.
Who did he hurt? Did he insult you in some way?
No.
He beat Miami last year pretty bad or something.
Who didn't?
Don't think he did.
That's
a lot of people did. So the reason I have him that low, new coaching staff, I feel like that might be a bit of a problem. Even though he has a longer camp, it's hard to switch. Never mind from college to the NFL, and then you have that. You study up on all that. Bless you. With oh my gosh, Anthony Lynn, excuse me. And then you got to change it up a bit. Not sure what to expect, but the schedule to start off with is pretty rough. But then the playoffs is Indy, Buffalo, and Jacksonville. I really like that. That'll be juicy. Losing Hunter Henry, all right, he had a 7-target average, all right. So with Jared Cook, he averages about 3 or 4 targets, but that was back in New Orleans. I just expect it to regress a bit. 4 out of the 5 starting linemen from last year, it's all new starters this year, presumed. They're ranked 18th in Pro Football Focus. So I hope I'm wrong. I'm just expecting a sophomore slump from him, with people having more film on him.
I got him at 12. I agree. Sophomore slump's coming.
Yeah,
that's a QB1 in the 12th there, so I have him as a QB2. So it's a pretty big difference, but that's just my line of thinking of it. I hope I am wrong. Thank you, producer.
I might have some rebuttals next round, but I'll save them for then.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
what do we have next here? Pause after each name there, Regan.
Tom Brady. Oh my God! Versus Matt Ryan.
Let's kick it.
We'll get flagged for this, but whatever.
Do what you gotta do.
Totally worth it.
So something that we should start doing, guys, when we say these guys, is we should say Tom Brady was number 4 in our consensus ranking, and I believe Matt Ryan was number 13 in our consensus ranking. So this is really, I'll sum it up for Jared, who made it very simple. He said, "Sorry, Matty Ice, this time there is no comeback victory coming. Tom Brady is going to take it right out of the gate."
Is that what he
Jared,
said?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
All right. You guys want me to read what he wrote? Because it says, "Tom Brady is just going to take a giant dump on your face here." Awesome. I was trying to keep it cleaner. Anyways, I'll just sum up what Jared's saying. Both quarterbacks are immobile, but Tom Brady just has so many more weapons between Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk, Antonio Brown, running backs. He just has so much more weapons. Matt Ryan loses Julio. Matt Ryan threw for 26 touchdowns in 2020, while Tom Brady threw for 40. That's a 14-point touchdown difference. And I don't see that slowing down for Tom Brady. And with Matt Ryan necessarily losing his fantasy crutch or touchdown crutch in Julio, I don't see him doing any better than 26 touchdowns. Mac, how do you feel about this? If I didn't say it, Jared picked Tom Brady, of course, to win.
Yes, he did. I think taking a dump on the other person's face it doesn't make you a winner.
Some people are weird.
But hey, so yeah, Matt Ryan. I mentioned it back when we broke down the Julio Jones trade to the Titans. When we broke down the NFC South there, Matt Ryan. All right, he scored an average of 5 points per game less without Julio Jones. I feel like he's more like fast food. All right, he's going to be a streamer. You need a quick fill. You need to go out grocery shopping and you're just tired. You're grabbing some fast food on the way home. The coach, Arthur Smith, run first type style. I know, Ryan, you might disagree with that, that they're going to be slinging it everywhere. But he has a tough first half of the season. Philly, Tampa Bay, the Giants, Washington, the Jets in Miami. Like, watch out there. But all right, so he had streaks of bust games last year, 12 points, 12, 6, then a little break of getting into the 20s, then 7, 14, 12, and 10. Not good, man. Yeah, so I'm not drafting him, but I will stream him if I can see that the offense is clicking better and pick him up. That's totally fine by me. What are your thoughts there, Ryan?
Yeah, I have him ranked as 14th right now. I'm not super high on that, especially like let's say Ridley gets injured or Russell Gage goes down, or like any of these guys go down, you're really going to take a lot out of that passing game. I don't have a lot to say here. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Ryan lost Julio Jones and Brady retained all his weapons, so Brady to me is the clear winner.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well enough.
Oh man, I didn't
Moving
queue it
on.
up.
He's got
Do it up, big guy.
Did we say what their consensus rankings were?
What do we got, Reeks?
Yeah, so we got Tom Brady. We have at. Oh, you want it just in general? Oh, yeah, I said at the beginning. So Tom Brady. What do I have? Oh, Tom Brady was consensus 5. Actually, that's our new rankings, which they will be updated. Tom Brady's 4, and Matt Ryan is 13.
13. Yep.
13. All right. So now moving on, we got
Mr. Unlimited.
Russell Wilson versus Kirk Cousins. All right. Winner, according to Jared, Russell Wilson. All right. I would have to agree. Russell Wilson threw 40 touchdowns while also rushing for 513 yards in 2020. Kirk Cousins ran for 156 yards while throwing 35 touchdowns in 2020. All right, so Kirk Cousins, he's in a very run-heavy first offense. He was 15th in pass attempts, and Wilson was 7th. All right. Also, he outruns, so you get that dual threat there. Yeah, Wilson, not much more needs to be said about why he wins. But our consensus ranking here, we got Russell Wilson is at 8 there, Regan, unless I don't have the updated one, and Kirk Cousins 14.
Russell Wilson's 5. Kirk Cousins is 12.
How do I have the wrong consensus?
I wrote it in the doc a second ago.
The seedings are the consensus.
A second ago. I gotta refresh my pages.
Well, you must be on the wrong page again. Ryan, is he reading your stuff again?
Oh my! I don't know what this guy is doing. Where's he reading from?
You gotta love him.
No, you don't.
Oh,
Anyway.
He's so homeschooled, man. He's so homeschooled.
Why don't you ask one of your 9 brothers and sisters? 7. Bill.
No, that's 8. You're almost
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Did you guys adopt one in the way?
Oh, the math.
No.
I'm just kidding.
It's,
I was making fun of Phillip Rivers, so 9.
Consensus siblings are 7.5. All right, Ryan, what are your thoughts on whoever lost there? Kirk Cousins.
You know what? I do like Kirk Cousins. I have him as my quarterback 13. He's a good value at his ADP. Right now, he's 179 on Sleeper. I mean, the guy's going like the 14th round. So if you're just looking to wait on a quarterback, like he's a pretty good option, especially he's got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook in the backfield, and my guy, Irv Smith, who Sleeper Report today said that he was a red zone beast. So anyways, enough about Irv Smith. Last 5 games for Cousins includes the Bears twice, the Steelers, the Packers, and the Rams. So something to be mindful of. He's got a pretty difficult schedule come playoff time. But overall, especially if you have this guy as like your quarterback 2 in a super flex, that's fantastic value. Riggs, what you got?
So while I was trying to put in the consensus rankings, I might have ignored what Mac was saying. So I might I might copy what he said. But I was just Kirk Cousins. He's not the best, but he's reliable. He's finished top 12 the past 5 out of 6 years. And then the one big key is if Justin Jefferson can have a more put together season, more consistent throughout the season, it's only going to help him. You do have to look at the fact that they are a run dominant team. And the past 2 years has been tough for Kirk Cousins since they became that rushing dominant team. He only got into the top 12 last year because of a 6.8 touchdown rate. So you can get him late. Like it's kind of like a Ben Roethlisberger point where it's a good QB2, good filler. I think Max said it well when he said, actually that might have been the last one, the fast food. Fast food.
Fast food. That was like episode 3, wasn't it?
No, he just said it a second ago about how you can grab them. You want to fill them in.
Prick.
I got him.
Yeah.
All right, I promise we're going to tighten this up. Let's go for gold.
Don't make promises you can't keep. All right.
I tried.
We moving on here?
We're moving on. Russell Wilson.
All right.
He won.
So Russell Wilson moves on. We got Kyler Murray versus Trevor Lawrence. Regan, what are their consensus rankings?
Kyle Murray at number 2 in the consensus, and Trevor Lawrence at number 15.
All right. So Jared here is saying Murray finished with over 800 yards rushing in 2020, right behind Lamar Jackson. Time for 7th in pass attempts with Russell Wilson. Trevor Lawrence may be the future of the Jaguars, but he will not be on the same level as Murray in his rookie season. Totally agree. This Jared guy sounds like a really smart guy. I have Kyler Murray as, spoiler, my number 1 QB for this year, all right? He was the number 1 QB last season until week 16, all right? And before his injury, he was on pace to be the first QB to rush for over 1,000 yards and pass for over 4,000. All right. Start of the season, Tennessee, Minnesota, and at Jacksonville. That's a really juicy start. But the playoff schedule here, Detroit, Indy, and then at Dallas. I like that one a lot. So I agree with Jared here. Kyler Murray wins here.
You're a sexual dynamo. Most guys couldn't even handle you. I've been reading books on the outside just so I can keep up with you.
Nobody can handle Kyler Murray. Regan looks lost. He doesn't know.
That's what that meant. You and your movie buff.
From Stripes, but okay. Anyway.
Ooh, Stripes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, you got thoughts?
I mean, Kyler Murray's the clear winner here. We'll talk a little bit more about him in additional rounds, but Trevor Lawrence, you don't know. In that offense, that team, the coaching staff, the receiving core, like question marks everywhere. Travis Etienne, I don't even know what position he plays anymore. So, yeah, Kyler Murray, clear favorite.
Terrible coaching, bad O-line. Yep, got it.
Not rookie
Regan
MVP.
will not be the rookie MVP. That's reserved for somebody we'll talk about later.
Yes. So I guess
rookie MVP. What the hell is that?
We're
losing it.
Anyways, so Trevor Lawrence, like you guys said, Kyle Murray, an easy win, especially with somebody that's been in the league for a little bit and somewhat established, and we only see a bigger ceiling going forward, or higher ceiling. Trevor Lawrence, like you said, the whole rushing and his stats are insane. He averaged 315 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns in the past the 3 years he was in college. 6 rushing touchdowns is huge for a guy that also slings the ball. Obviously, the NFL is a little different, but with weapons like DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, and Marvin Jones, who is a deep threat, he's got an opportunity. But when it comes to rookies, it's just nerve-wracking. The Jags The Jags did throw the season last year, but they also kind of suck as well. So we'll see
Very much so.
how Trevor Lawrence. It's the only hole wasn't a great quarterback. It definitely will help though. So we'll see what comes.
His rushing skills will definitely be tested. That's for damn sure, because he's going to have about a second and a half to throw the football.
Yeah, behind the line of scrimmage. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, am I jumping to the next one?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. So we got number 7, Dak Prescott. And number 10, Aaron Rodgers. What a pain in my ass. Sorry.
All of our asses. He's really
he just ruined everything.
Go ahead.
He's one of those guys that just, sneak up from behind that we mentioned in the past,
Seriously. All right, so I'll read this quick. Dak was undoubtedly this is Jared's words. Dak was undoubtedly one of the best has one of the best receiving cores in football, but his ability to run is very misleading. The most rushing yards he's ever posted was 357 yards. Only 2 out of the last 5 years has he had more than 300 yards rushing. We'll have to see what he does with his legs coming this offseason, coming off that ankle injury, which is a great point by Jared. He's going to be nervous. I know when I was coming back from injury playing football when I was younger, like you get nervous and you're not the same player, at least at the beginning. So and then on Aaron Rodgers he's going to be rushing what does he say? Aaron Rodgers is going to be running the offense and calling the shots, and his supposed last dance. I like that.
Nice.
But by the way, where do you guys think he's going? I'm just kidding. We'll get into that later. Anyways, in 2020, he tossed 48 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. Sure, the running upside is no longer there, but he tosses 40-plus touchdowns his career. They also drafted a wide receiver in the 3rd round and brought back Randall Cobb. Woohoo. That being said, he picked Aaron Rodgers to win this battle. I think this is actually a close one in my eyes. You got to think that Aaron Rodgers, he wants to do one more big season and get out of here. So he's going to want that next contract or to be traded to a contender. And a contender is only going to want him if he produces still. So he's going to be put on blast if he does not do well. That's really on him. As for Dak, we didn't bring it up really, but he has the shoulder injury. He got in practice, came back one day, left again. He's going to be out for a little bit. We have the Hall of Fame game tomorrow, I believe, and he probably not going to play in it.
Nah,
so
they said that tonight that he's not playing.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have anyways, but if there wasn't any chance, it does suck for him to get out there, and he needs as much get back as possible with coming off that injury. So now we got a shoulder injury. We have that ankle injury he's coming back from. It's nerve-wracking if you ask me. I think he's still going to be a stud. I think I'll say our consensus rankings after though. But Ryan, what do you got on this?
Yeah, I have Rodgers winning this matchup as well. They're close though. So in my rankings, I have Rodgers 9. I have Prescott 10. I've gotten some questions around why I have Rodgers lower, specifically from Jared. And what I have to say is, if you look at the top 5 quarterbacks over the last decade, right? Every year the top 5 looks almost completely different. Aaron Rodgers is the name you see the most, ironically, but it's usually every year of the season. So either the next year they lose weapons, they lose linemen, there has to be some shifts, there's changes in coaching. So it's so hard to duplicate a top 5 finish. And then plus limited off season, kind of dicking around, bad relationship with the coaching staff. We'll see. Mac, I know you have touched upon that coaching situation.
Oh, no. Dak just broke something else.
Oh, my God.
So I had Dak Prescott ranked 6. All right. So he was on pace for 6,700 yards. All right. Passing. He doesn't need a rush. So I don't know why Jared's bringing up that point with him. When he has all those dangerous, versatile weapons. Might change my rankings because of the injuries now, and we'll see how he looks in the preseason. But he also has a healthy O-line back. So I expect him to do pretty well and get just outside the top 5, but definitely in the top 10 for sure. But yeah, we'll get to Rodgers and my thoughts on him later. He is ranked lower than that for me, though. So we'll move on. Aaron Rodgers is the winner, and their consensus is Regan.
Lamar Jackson. Oh, whoa. That's the next
Consensus.
one. Dak Prescott. I already said it at the beginning. Dak's number 7. Aaron Rodgers is number 10.
I thought you said we were getting at the end. I wasn't paying attention.
I was gonna say our own. So I actually have Dak. I have Dak the highest at 5, and Rodgers at 11.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all right there at Rodgers, 10, 9, 11.
Can we all agree that Prescott is somewhere between 1 and 10? Like, I think his ceiling is QB1. Okay.
It is, for sure. For sure, but everybody's just cautious of the injury. But if he drops down to 6th round, I might take him. But I usually don't draft a QB that early. I usually wait till double-digit rounds. So
there's going to be an awesome wide receiver there for me in the 6th round, so I'll just take that instead.
Yeah, no, that's what you have to. That's what you have to pick. All right, who's next?
All right, so we got next matchup here is going to be number 3 Lamar Jackson versus number 14 Joe Burrow. So, I mean, the winner here is going to be Lamar Jackson. Jared said so. I think we're all probably going to be in agreement with this. So Jared references Lamar Jackson has topped 1,000 rushing yards as a quarterback the last 2 seasons, while also tossing 26 touchdowns in 2020 and 36 in 2019. And they've only added more offensive weapons in Sammy Watkins. They drafted Rashad Bateman. And Joe Burrow's coming off a torn ACL and MCL. Jared says that he posted 300 plus yards in 5 out of his 10 starts in his rookie season, but he only rushed for 142 yards. So I think there's a common theme in Jared's predictions here, and I think he really holds a lot of fantasy value in quarterbacks that can run. So with that said, like, I agree. Like, Jackson will probably rush for over 1,000 yards, and he had 43 combined touchdowns in 2019, 33 combined in 2020. And if that offense can get down the field a little bit better this year, with those weapons, he'll have more red zone opportunities as well. But to talk about Joe Burrow a little bit, I think he hasn't proven himself yet. He's coming off of an injury. It's going to take time. All of those things factor into why I would knock out Joe Burrow here. Mac, what do you got?
I agree, man. I don't even have him in my top 16. But yeah, I don't think their offense is clicking yet. Plus with the O-line issues, I don't see him beating out into the top 16 in rankings, just outside. But I have him at 19 right now. So yeah
you do.
I agree. Huh?
I said, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Ryan's got him at 15. I got him at 14. Or see, he has him at 16. I have him at 15. Sorry.
Yeah, I have him at 16.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. Regan, your thoughts on Joe Burrow?
I think you guys pretty much summed it up. He does have an amazing passing attack. He was on pace for 4,400 yards, like we said, but he is coming off an injury. They probably should have used that pick for an own line, like we've said. It's just, he could be awesome, but you just get nervous. And then obviously the ACL is going to mess with him at the beginning. But
they did draft O-line later.
They did.
You're talking about Penny Sewell. They should have taken him. Yeah. He wanted Jamar Chase, so
that was definitely.
They did. Yeah, I'm sorry to step on your toes there. I was just saying they did address the O-line in later rounds. So the future is bright for them. We're just saying this year right now, redraft. Yeah, not quite there yet.
They already said Jamar Chase was really struggling in practice too, and not looking, like a number 1 wide receiver that they just drafted. So it is nerve-wracking.
I did say back in our beginning episodes, way back in the day, when we were talking about most impactful rookies, that Jamar Chase, if you watch his film, like, a lot of it is it's blown coverages. So when he is zeroed up by a corner, lockdown corner, it's going to be tricky. So we'll see how he does. I just don't think you're going to get much production out of him when it's a tough defense. Weaker defenses, yeah. But we're talking about quarterbacks, not receivers. Sorry.
I know we have to move on because we're short on time, but an important fantasy question here. Lamar Jackson's probably going in the top 3 rounds. Do you take Lamar Jackson in the top 3 rounds, or do you wait for a guy like Joe Burrow?
You know my answer. I wait.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson could be amazing though this year. Those
Could
top
be.
4, let's top. Well, my top 4. So Mahomes, Allens, Murray, Jackson, Prescott. I feel like you can't really go wrong in those earlier rounds with them. They're just next level.
They go too early for me. I don't like drafting quarterbacks too early. So I feel like I'm missing out on a top running back or a top wide receiver. So I'd rather have those guys than a top quarterback.
3rd round, you better hope that Lamar Jackson is 2019 Lamar Jackson, where he carries fantasy teams, because if he's not, you're passing on a really good running back or a really good wide receiver.
Oh, by far. And like you were saying about Jared and his liking the running quarterbacks in this draft, is you get so much more points, for 4-point touchdowns from these quarterbacks. They were doing some stats on another podcast when they were like, some players would have to score like another 20 touchdowns just to add up to some of these rushing quarterbacks, like Lamar Jackson running for 1,000 yards. It's just insane points.
Yeah, in standard leagues, his value is so much higher than in 6-point passing leagues.
For sure.
Yeah, I might have said that weird, but that's what I meant.
All right, Mac, you want to wrap up the first round here with your boy?
First round. Jeez.
Oh, yours and Regan's boys. Ooh,
baby.
Yeah, look at this. All right, so we got House Tannister, Ryan Tannehill versus Matt Stafford here. Winner, Ryan Tannehill. Matthew Stafford, we're just going to talk about the losers here of the first round. Matthew Stafford has a stronger arm than Jared Goff, but he's only thrown for more than 30 touchdowns twice in his career and has no running ability. So, yeah, Jared really likes the running quarterbacks. Maybe having a better coach will help him turn things around, but we'll have to see. Matt Stafford
is the man.
Yep, like I said, new better coach. He averages 600-plus attempts, though, minus his 2019 season when he
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
So he is a top 10 QB when his pass attempts are over 565. I think in the Rams offense, he's going to do that. All right. Schedule is a bit rough and tough in that division. So not particularly targeting him, but if he falls to me, I'm glad to take him. I have him ranked 9th. So yeah, Regan, your thoughts on your boy here, Stafford?
Oh man, I'd still take him over a lot. I would wait on him to grab him, but I am going to talk down on him a little bit. The past 12 seasons that he's been with Detroit, he's passed for or averaged at least 4,000 passing yards at that time. That being said, he's averaged below 30 touchdowns and double-digit interceptions through those 12 years. So not the best, that could be to blame on crappy Detroit, not having weapons and so on. He does throw the ball, so if he can cut back on those interceptions and throw some touchdowns a little bit more, he's going to be huge. 4,000 yards average. I just hope he's not too beat up from his Detroit days and his spinal injury, apparently.
Yeah, right. I have Stafford at 11. I do think he's still a quarterback 1. He's got great weapons and a good O-line, but I certainly have Tannehill over him this year.
Poor guy.
Makes sense. What do we got next here? Moving on to the second round. So Ryan Tannehill advances. Round 2.
So we got Josh Allen versus Justin Herbert. So I'll say the consensus after so I can read through this. He obviously picked Josh Allen. This is a pretty easy case. His write-up on this was Justin Herbert does have some rushing upside, running, again, loves that rushing, running for 234 yards and 5 touchdowns as a rookie season. looking at the name, you would think Josh Allen is blowing Herbert out of the water, but Allen threw 37 touchdowns in his third season with Herbert throwing 31 his rookie year. Allen rushed for 421 with 8 touchdowns, and Herbert ran for 234 with 5 touchdowns. In a 4-point touchdown format, Allen is only averaging a little over 4 more points per game. That's actually an eye-opening thing, and that's what you guys need to know at your drafts and pay attention to that scoring format.
Wait, only averaging a little more than 4 more points per game? That's a huge difference at quarterback.
Oh, it's insane.
I don't know why you say it only.
Oh,
Jared.
no.
Jared. Yeah, I don't know why you're reading it. I don't know why you're saying only 4 points. That's a huge difference.
To me.
When you lose a lot of games, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
That lost by tenths of a point.
So simple enough, though. Josh Allen, easy win here. What do you got, Mac?
Yeah, I agree. I've explained what I'm kind of low on Herbert, so he can go.
You like popsicles?
You can go suck on some popsicles.
All right, Ryan.
Maybe Jared's point is that if you're picking Herbert in the 6th round and you're picking Allen in the 3rd round, maybe the difference between that other position is going to make up for those 4 points. Here, I have Allen moving on, and I had some points on Herbert, but I think we've already touched on them, and I don't think he tops Allen this year.
Yeah, context is everything, man. Like, if you're getting them later, that's fine. That's fine. Just know what you're sacrificing. You're hoping for that huge upside with Allen. So you get a repeat, which we'll get into that later. Ryan, you were up, right?
Yeah, so we got Allen moving on, and the next matchup is going to be number 4, Tom Brady, versus number 5, Russell Wilson. So we're going back, boys, to which Super Bowl number? I can't even keep track anymore of which.
What was that? 49?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. We should know this, but we got a little bit of a rematch going on.
Hammered.
Producer, look that up for us.
I've been hammered since 2014, I think. So I can't remember. That's a lie. I have Tom Brady here. Jared has Russell Wilson moving on, so we'll talk a little bit more about Russell Wilson. But I think Tom Brady, I have him as quarterback 6, and I have him as quarterback 6 because Bruce Arians throws the hell out of the ball, and Tom Brady has 3 incredible weapons that he's going to have for hopefully the whole season. And if one of them goes down, he's going to have 2 of those weapons. So, I think Tom Brady trumps Russell Wilson this year. What do you think, Mac?
He's the GOAT, man. I would have had him move on. Especially with where you're getting him. So his ADP in my mocks, I'm getting Tom Brady in double-digit rounds. 9th, 10th round. 9th is like the earliest. So I'd much rather have Tom Brady then instead of taking Russell Wilson in the 5th and 6th round. Maybe even earlier. So, I don't know. I have Tom Brady ranked pretty high. I have him 4th. I think he's going for the touchdown record. That's the only thing he wants to check off his list. And with that dangerous offense, not really going to pay much attention to the run game. Running back by committee. He's just going to be throwing the ball all over, trying to get that touchdown record back that he only had for like a season before Peyton Manning took it from him. So that's my ideals behind him. Regan?
Can't believe I'm the lowest on Tom Brady.
I can't either.
I need to update this bad, Larry.
You said he married him last episode.
Oof, easy.
Oh, happy belated birthday to the GOAT.
Tom. Oh, why'd you have to leave? No, I honestly I have nothing negative to really say about Tom's game. He's proved us all wrong over years and years. He's took care of the ball better than any Bruce Arians quarterback since 2006. They've signed back everyone relevant to him and his offense that he needed. It should be Tom all day.
All right, Jared, your rankings suck. Get out of here.
That's right.
All right.
Last time we asked him to do anything.
I hate that kid.
Seriously. Oh my God.
You're up.
Moving on. Am I up? All right. Kyler Murray versus Aaron Rodgers. There we go. Kyler Murray, pretty high on him, as you heard, number one. So Aaron Rodgers, all right, he had an MVP season, 48 touchdowns. I think we already said all this.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. All right, my notes on Aaron Rodgers here. I have him ranked 10, all right? Discount double bitch fest all season.
Yes.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers, what were you doing all off season?
I like to think of different things that people do with their hands.
Okay, that's weird. Mr. Rodgers there. He's not getting along with the coach, all right? When things are getting tough and they're going to be losing games, they're going to implode, man. And once you entertain retirement, moving on to go play Jeopardy, or host Jeopardy, rather, you lose your mojo. So I don't see him repeating. Last 3 seasons, he had 25 touchdowns, 26, and then 48. All right, so that's the anomaly. It's got to regress back to normal, somewhere in the 30s. All right, I even might be too high on him, honestly, making the top 10. And I might be too low on Justin Herbert, and he might be making the top 10 and not Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. Regan, what do you got?
I loved your input on that. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, I think the main thing is positive side was he does. I guess we really don't know if he wants to play again, if he wants to get traded and be brought to a contender, but he's gonna need to show out if he wants to do so. And then the negative,
does want to get traded. They only have the one more year with him, and he's just trying to get Devontae Adams paid. But like, where are you gonna go that's better than Green Bay right now? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. Maybe just sick of the cold. It's cold as balls there.
True.
It's horrible.
And maybe he's lactose intolerant too.
Oh, all that cheese curd. I liked your whole point. I was actually going to bring up the touchdowns and everything with him having just going crazy one year. But he had a career high touchdown rating of 9.1%, and as well as 8.2 yard per attempt, which matched his 2011 season. So it was just like an astronomical stat year for him. He went off, and I just wish he went about. I would have had so much more respect for him if he went about things a little bit differently, because he definitely earned, everything that he's been saying, this year. But he went about it a little bitchy. So screw you.
I can't talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore. So let's just bump him out and move on Kyler Murray and end it there.
All right, sounds good. Who do we have next year?
We got
semifinals.
We got is it a semi?
We got
one more. Take it easy, Biscuit.
Damn it! I'm so excited.
Oh, get me nervous. We still got Lamar Jackson and Ryan Tannehill.
All right, so I'll take this one, guys. So we got number 3 Lamar Jackson, number 6 Ryan Tannehill. Jared has Lamar Jackson taking this matchup. He makes pretty good notes here. Neither quarterback is going to win the award for most passing attempts. Tannehill is only a slightly more efficient passer with a completion percentage of 65.5% in 2020 compared to Jackson's 64.4%. So basically pretty much the same there. Jackson finished 24th in pass attempts. Tannehill finished 18th. Due to the lack of volume in the passing game, the obvious choice is to take Jackson, rushing upside, which blows Tannehill out of the water. Yeah, I mean, those are all good points, but I think 2020 to me, and I have Jackson winning this matchup as well, but I think 2020 to me has Tannehill throwing a hell of a lot more and utilizing play action more. And I think when you add Julio Jones to that offense, that's only going to make for more big plays using play action pass, because the Titans use play action plays more than any other team in the league. So that's where I stand. Mac, what do you think?
How's Tannehill there? All right. So they added Julio Jones. They traded for him. He demands 150 plus targets. AJ Brown will demand over 100 as well. That's 2 wide receivers getting at over 1,000 yards. They didn't bring Julio in to block. All right. Jeff Kerr from CBS, I talked about this when we broke down the Titans. Since 2019, where he only played 10 games, Tannehill, his yard per attempt was 8.5, first overall. Game-winning drive, 9. That's first overall of quarterbacks since 2019. Fourth quarter comeback, 7, first overall. Passer rating, 110, that's second. Touchdown percentage, 7.2, and that's second. All right, and their big play offense there. I think Ryan Tannehill. We'll get into it when we do our bets and our odds episode. But I might take him to become MVP, man, because their running game, they need to lighten the load for Henry. And I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more because what they've been doing hasn't been working. They need to get over that hump. Plus a bad defense. So best offense for fantasy is a bad defense. They'll have to be coming back. That's why I highlighted his comebacks. So I expect him to pass a lot more. Regan?
I'll just run through it quick. We talked about Tannehill a little bit earlier. Just two negatives really. We gotta remember Julio. He's not always the most reliable wide receiver when it comes to dodging the injury bug.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ Brown had offseason minor knee surgeries. I believe that was both knees. I know that it's minor, but you just never know. And then the
He's
offense
looking great in camp, though, man.
Is he good?
Yeah,
and
he's a beast in it.
I wasn't throwing anything at him, but it just gets any surgery makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, it's good context.
Then the last one is just offense. We still need to remember is going to go through the run game. They are you are right. I believe they both will have 1,000 yards. Derrick Henry is still going to have 300 carries. So just need to remember that.
Yeah, probably a lot more than that.
I had 368 last year. I took off 68.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll live with that.
We good?
You want to move on? Yeah, round 3.
What? Josh Allen and Russell Wilson. I actually like this matchup. This is a good matchup right here. So Jared, he picked Josh Allen to win. Josh Allen is basically a red zone running back with the ability to pass. Perfect. In his first 3 years, he has had no fewer than 8 rushing touchdowns. Last year, his rushing numbers were the lowest he had posted in his 3-year career. 421, watching his passing efficiency dramatically increase, which is awesome. We all saw it. It was great to watch. Russell Wilson only posted 513 rushing yards, which is slightly better. Wilson only rushed for 10 touchdowns in the last 6 years compared to Allen's 25 in the last 3, which is mind-blowing.
That's a big stat.
Yeah, it really is. And I know it obviously comes down to the rushing yards, rushing touchdowns again, but in the rushing abilities. But both of these quarterbacks really are pretty comparable in their abilities to elude, make more time with their legs and get those first downs or that touchdown with their legs. Josh Allen's a lot younger. Russell Wilson's been in the league for a while. I would always lean with the up-and-coming star when it comes to that. So, Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I have Josh Allen here too. And this is what I want to talk about. So again, bring it back to fantasy. Josh Allen, 3rd or 4th round. Russell Wilson, probably 6th round. Who are we taking, guys?
None.
That's what I would say, but if you had to choose.
I know. All right. So I will choose that I will trade for Russell Wilson later. All right. Tough schedule at the first 7 games, all right? But a very nice back half lined up. I want the team that drafts him to struggle, and then I'll trade for Russell Wilson later. I know.
I like the concept, though. Good luck with that.
So for those in the leagues that I play in, if you take Russell Wilson, I will take him off your hands when you are struggling. They got a weak defense and a great offense, and they're revamping it after his spin-off show for Aaron Rodgers Bitch Fest. He had his own. They're gonna be passing the ball more, so I'm expecting them to light it up this year.
If somebody told me you could have Wilson in the 6th or Allen in the 4th, and I had to make one of those choices, I think, even though I'm not a big quarterback early guy, I think I would take Allen in the 4th and take my chances. I don't love the consistency of Russell Wilson.
Agree. If I had to pick between the two, if I had to take a quarterback, I would do Allen as well in the 4th.
I'd take Russell this year. Okay. We'll get to what I think about Josh Allen next time.
All right, I'll trade you in the 7th round, week. Okay?
There we go. So who we got next? Ryan,
Matt,
you're up, right?
I'm up. I don't know. I'll go. And then somebody freaking takes the finals or something. All right, here we go. So number 2, Kyler Murray versus number 3, Lamar Jackson. So Jared here has Kyler Murray winning. Lamar Jackson will probably outrun Kyler Murray in 2021. And the key word is probably, since Jackson ran for 1,005 yards compared to Murray's 819. What is certain is that Lamar Jackson won't pass for more yards than Kyler Murray. Murray threw for 3,971 yards compared to Jackson's 2,757. And Murray has a higher potential for passing for more touchdowns, especially having a proven wide receiver number 1, where Lamar does not. And those are all really good points. But I am going to have to disagree with him here. So I actually have Lamar Jackson winning. And I understand Jared's reasoning for eliminating Jackson here. I think it's totally reasonable. I think Jackson surges back into the top 3 in fantasy this year because he has more weapons and because they're committing to passing the ball more. So Bateman's no joke. Bateman, I've referenced this before, in the middle of the college football season last year, he was considered the number 1 wide receiver by many. And because of COVID-related things, coming back and underperforming in a couple of games, he got bumped down that list, but he is a really, really talented wide receiver. And you add in a deep threat like Sammy Watkins with a rushing attack like what they have, it's going to be a more balanced offense. And I could see Lamar Jackson passing for 30-plus touchdowns and rushing for double-digit touchdowns. And I think that's what bumps him over Kyler Murray. So, Reeks, I'll send this one to you. What do you think?
I think you nailed it. I agree with you 100% with Lamar Jackson. You know, the team is well-rounded now. They have endless possibilities with the additions of Bateman and Sammy Watkins. With Sammy Watkins looks amazing in which I hope they're just not talking up, but supposedly he looks amazing in practice and is really looking like a wide receiver 1, and hopefully he's helping these younger guys. But, you know, with pairing with Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews, what a passing attack. And we obviously know it's a run game anyway. So his passing attack can only go up from here, if you ask me. So I feel like his floor is kind of met. I feel like last year might have been his floor.
That's
possibility.
Yes, that's a great point. Mm-hmm.
So I think it can only go up from there. And I hope he can, you know, throw it a little bit better. You know, but they're pushing for it, and they're only giving him they're giving him a way to get better. So what do you think, Mac? Because I know it's probably shitty. You know?
It's not shitty. I just have Kyler Murray. I agree with Jared here. So I have him ranked 1. So yeah, I'm going to take him. And Lamar Jackson's going in like the 2nd and 3rd round. I don't want to spend that draft capital on him. And he's been out with COVID. So the receivers have been looking good with the backup QBs in training camp. So if it's not him throwing it, and it's the backup QB making him look good, we'll see when he comes back. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, you know, you're grasping at straws here if you're not. What's the reference? The analogy.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You're being very picky. We're being very picky here.
Yes, we are.
I was trying to research to make sure that he didn't come back. But yeah, we're being very picky here. So I just think with the draft capital, it'll be later. But yeah, I have Kyler Murray higher.
I'm still alive, motherfucker!
Okay, bye, Jackson.
Damn.
All right, let's move on to the finals here.
All right, I'll take care of this bad Larry. We got finals is Josh Allen, our number 1 consensus, and Kyler Murray number 2. And they're only number 1 and number 2 because Patrick Mahomes obviously wasn't being been out of this consensus bracket. So they're really 2 and 3. Let's put it that way. So he picks. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray. What an idiot. So, all right. So here's what Jared has to say. Kyler Murray will outrun Josh Allen. He loves the running. Josh Allen tossed 30
Don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat yourself. Give your thoughts. We've talked enough about Jared.
Yeah. Anyway,
what are your thoughts? You would pick Josh Allen over him?
Oh, easy. I would easily take Josh Allen. Not easy. With Kyler Murray, I just get nervous with, you know, the shoulder injury from last year. He also came out saying that his rushing is a luxury, whatever that means. does that make you nervous and him kind of staying in the pocket a little bit more and not extending the play? And I don't know. I could see him, I compare him almost to a Russell Wilson, where I just don't think he's as durable as Russell Wilson. I guess that's kind of where I'm going to be putting him.
Durable as Josh Allen or Russell Wilson?
No, I think Russell Wilson is more durable than Kyle Murray will
yeah.
be in his NFL career. I think they're pretty comparable play-wise. They can break off the tackles behind the line of scrimmage, extend plays. They're fast. They're shorter than their linemen. All the above.
He is a little guy, man. I was trying to bring up his dimensions, but yeah, he is a small guy. So yeah, his durability comes into question. AJ Green's been looking good in camp, but then he gets hurt later. I saw this at the gym when I was struggling on the treadmill, and I saw that he got hurt.
Somebody else like running.
Him up. Yeah.
Okay, Jared.
Barely jogging, but anyway,
it's more of a fall forward.
Yeah, exactly. Always good for 1.5 yards there. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this finals matchup here?
I have Josh Allen as my. I'm trying to call him Jared Allen right there. Josh Allen is my winner, and I think it's just a slight difference. Like, I'm still really high on Kyler Murray, but Allen has a better O-line. He has an easier strength of schedule, not by much, but slightly easier. And that's according to Fantasy Pros. And I think Emmanuel Sanders, as far as staying healthy and being productive, I think he's going to be both of those things over AJ Green.
Ooh, I like it. I didn't think of that comparison.
And that is it, fellas. First bracket down.
Conclusion. So right now we will be showing the bracket.
And we got our bracket up here on the screen for us here. You can check it out. We'll put it on our socials at Just a Tip FFP, or you are watching us on YouTube. You can see it here. Round one, Ryan, go through round one matchups and winners real quick.
Yeah, round one winners were Allen, Herbert, Brady, Wilson, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, and Ryan Tannehill all made it out of round one.
Yeah, I really no problem with those matchup winners at all in the first round. How about you, Regan?
I am kind of low on Justin Herbert. Out of this group, he might be the lowest, but other than that, I honestly, I'm still fine with him in it.
I had all the same picks, so
yeah,
I'm in.
Oh, good for you.
I noticed because I was reading it. Round two, we had Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Josh Allen won there, and Tom Brady versus Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson won. Kyler Murray versus Aaron Rodgers. Kyler Murray advances. Lamar Jackson versus Ryan Tannehill, but Lamar Jackson advances. I have a problem with that one, and the Tom Brady one. But besides that, Jared, good job there. Regan.
So you're 50% on round three. I like it.
Your picks.
If I'm, that's pretty good in a bracket.
All right, so I'll just finish it off right here. So the Josh Allen and Russell Wilson in round three. Josh Allen took that. Kyle Murray and Lamar Jackson in round three as well, and then Kyle Murray won that. Moving on to round four, Josh Allen versus Kyle Murray, and the champ comes out of that as Kyler Murray, which I have a problem with.
Yeah, you guys have a problem with that, but I don't know. That's the thing where Jared and I eventually get to the same location there. Just took different roads.
Tip.
Yeah, we're just sharing the same tips. It's great.
This should be
Jared,
vertical.
we
should have a vertical bracket.
We should totally do that.
A nice gradual.
Oh no, gosh!
It should be a flow chart. It should be a flow chart down. That's what it should be. So it's like hanging.
Oh man,
Jared, want, guys.
Jared, we appreciate your input here and all that. So,
Jared,
thank you, Chuck Norris.
Much appreciated, man. Gave us some great material. You guys got any final thoughts on this stuff?
Nope. I like how we did this. I hope everybody does. Please give us some feedback on what you guys thought about this bracket. And if we definitely plan on keep going, but give us some feedback on making it better or whatever you want.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, guys. I had a really good time.
Yeah, I like that idea, Ryan. First one to come up with a bracket style of anything, so
That's
I like
right.
it.
Such an original thought.
Yeah, it is. It was a fun way to do it on why we thought different quarterbacks, different players when we get to the other positions next week. Hopefully you guys stuck around, like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Comment, like Regan said. Give us some feedback where you think our rankings are missing, who we're too low on, too high on. We really appreciate it. Next week, hopefully we can get into the running backs ranking style, with tournament style, of the rankings. But yeah, tonight was good. We're going to stick around to another bonus episode on the rest of our rankings to have released later on for you guys. And yeah, you know what? I think next week maybe we should do a bracket style of everybody's moms. Yeah, nobody's listening. Crickets.
Terrible. Absolute terrible.
That's true. Good night, everybody.
Guys really suck.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
was saying.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.